श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति शांति शांति. So yesterday we saw the characteristics of sattva guna. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvad prakashakam अनामयम सुख संगेन बध्नाति ज्ञान संगेन च अनग. So the sattva guna binds us through the association with the happiness and with the knowledge. Okay, now what does rajoguna do? रजो रागात्मकं विद्धि तृष्णासंग समुद्भवं तन्निबध्नाति कौन्तेय कर्मसंगेन देहिनम्. रजो रागात्मकं विद्धि तृष्णासंग समुद्भवं तन्निबध्नाति हे कौन्तेय कर्मसंगेन देहिनम्. रजः रागात्मकं विद्धि. रंज रागे is the root word. रंज रागे, to color. That is the meaning. It colors, it binds, therefore it colors it, it changes its nature. So rajo ragatmakam viddhi. Know the rajoguna to be that which binds us, that which is of the form of attachment. Trishna sanga samudbhavam. Trishna asanga is Trishna sanga. Akasarne dirgha. So Trishna means thirst. Even you, the general word for Trishna in the sense of thirst for water or some drink, that also is Trishna, and this also is Trishna. Okay, Trishna is a common word for thirst anywhere. Trishna asanga, asamantat sanga, complete attachment. For that samudbhavam, this is the cause. Tannibadhnati, and this rajoguna is born out of that, and tannibadhnati, it binds us to water. Ekaunteya, son of Kunti putra, son of Kunti, understands this. Karma sangena dehinam tad nibadhnati, binds us through the attachment of karmas. When you are attached to karmas, that means there is rajoguna. Okay, rajyate anena visheshu purusha aneneti. The purusha is involved because of this in the objects. That is why it is called as raga. Raga means that which involves the person to the objects, with the objects. That is raga. Raga means kama. Kama means gardha. They are all synonyms. Raga, kama, gardha, icha are all synonyms. Raga means desire, kama means desire, and gardha. Gardha is from the root word gridha. Gridha, akanshayam, expectancy. So all that is a form of desire. So eva atma swarupam yasya, that which is its nature, inherent nature, dharma dharminoho tadatmyat tadraga tadatmakam. How can that be my nature? Because the attributes is superimposed on the attributed. I am 6 feet tall. Okay, I am 6 feet tall. My height is 6 feet. But how do I see myself? Who are you? 6 feet. So the attributes can never be the attributed, but here the attribute is superimposed on the attributed and seen as the attributed. Therefore, rajo viddhi, know that to be rajoguna. That kind of activity, not the attribute, superimposition. That kind of attachment, that kind of desire, etc., is of the nature of rajoguna. Because superimposition of attributes on the attributor happens in sattva-guna, rajoguna, and tamoguna, in all the gunas. In guna, the gunas are attributes and they are superimposed on the attributed, which is the self, which cannot be attributed. That is the problem. Okay? Ata'eva aprapta abhilasha trishna. What does trishna mean? So he says aprapta abhilasha trishna. Trishna means abhilasha, desire for aprapta, the objects which are not gained. The desire for that which is not gained is trishna. Okay, what does asanga means? He says praptasya upasthite api vinashe samraksha abhilasha asangaha. Though you have gained something, though it exists, you have the desire to protect it from destruction. That is asanga, attachment. What is attachment? I am attached to this, I am attached to that, my precious. Why is that? You don't want to lose it. Okay, so that is asanga. Tayoho trishnasangayoho sambhavaha. And this is born out of that desire, that thirst, and that kind of attachment. Yasmad, therefore, tad rajo nibadhnati. Therefore, it is born because of that it binds us. It binds us to what? Ekonteya, O son of Kunti, it binds us. Karma sangena. It binds us to what? Karma sangena. Karmasu drishtarashteshu ahamidam karomi etat phalam bhokshi ityabhinivesha abhinivesha visheshena dehinam vasto akartavyam eva akartarameva kartartva abhimaninam rajasah pravrutti hetutva. Karma sangena. Sangha means attachment. Karma means, what does karma mean? Karmasu, in the karmas. Karmas means drishtartheshu, in the karmas which are seen and non-seen. Meaning the karmas which have results which can be experienced here itself and which have results which can be experienced hereafter. Drishta means the perceivable results. Adrishta means the non-perceivable results for the hereafter. Ahamidam karomi, in those karmas which give you those kind of results, ahamidam karomi etat phalam bhokshiti abhineshva. This attachment that I will do this karma, I will enjoy that result. This is what is called as a karma sangha. With this kind of sangha, dehinam, it binds the dehi. Who is the dehi? The self. Though the vastutaha akartarameva, though in reality, in inherent nature, he is not a doer, but still kartutva abhimaninam. He becomes identified with the doership. That is the nature of, that is the act of rajoguna, pravritti hetutva, because it is rajasa pravritti hetutva, because rajoguna is of the nature of making you put effort, involving you in action. Chanchala, we said already. It is of the nature of chanchala, restless, turbulent. Tamasi, tamastu ajnanajam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadalasya nidrabhi tad nibadhnati bharata. What does tamoguna do? Tamastu ajnanajam vidhi. What is the nature of tamoguna and what does it do? Tamastu ajnanajam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramada alasya nidravihi tad nibadhnati. Hey Bharata, O Bharata, O son of Bharata. Tamastu ajnanajam vidhi. Know the tama, which is different from the rajoguna and sattoguna, to be born from ajnana. Ajnanajam, born out of ignorance. Vidhi, know that to be born out of ignorance. Mohanam sarvadehinam, what is its nature? Mohanam sarvadehinam, it deludes all the self. All the self. Sarvadehinam, one who is identified with the body, that self, it deludes him. Pramada alasya nidrabihi tan nibadhnati. It binds us through these acts of pramada, alasya and nidra. Pramada, carelessness, alasya, laziness, nidra, sleep. With these three kind of activities, it binds us. What binds us? Tamoguna binds us. Tu shabdah sattvajas apekshaya vishesha dyotanartham. 2 is said to differentiate it from the Rajoguna and Sattoguna. Ajnanad avarana shakti rupad udbhutam ajnanajam tamo vidhi. Ajnanajam, born out of ignorance. What is ignorance? That which has the nature of veiling, covering. Tama means darkness. What is the nature of darkness? To cover the object which exists there in the darkness. That veils it, it covers it. Therefore, know that tamo to be of the nature of veiling, covering, hiding. Ataha sarvesham dehinam mohanam aviveka rupatvena bhranti janakam. So therefore, all the self, in all the bodies, that one who is identified, that person, that Purusha, mohanam, it deludes him. Meaning, by making him not understand his own true nature. That is the delusion, Bhranti Janakam, that is the erroneous knowledge, and because of that erroneous knowledge, he is bound to the body sense organ complex. Pramadena, Alasyena Nidrayacha Tattamo Nimadnati. The Tama Gana binds us through the Pramada, Alasya, and Nidra. Carelessness, sleep, and laziness and sleep. Dehinam iti anushajyate. Here also we have to understand whom does it bind? The Dehi, the self. Hey Bharata. So what does Pramada, what does Alasya, what does Nidra mean? What is its nature? So he says, Pramadaha Bastu Viveka Asamarthyam Sattvakarya Prakashaka Virodhi. Beautiful. Pramado vi mrityutyavochama. I keep repeating this statement. Pramado vi mrityuho Sanat Sujatiya. In Sanat Sujatika, Sanat Sujata tells his disciple Narada, no Pramado vai mrityu. No the carelessness to be death. Pramada is carelessness. Pramada is ignorance. How Pramada is ignorance? Because Ajnanajam, that which is born of ignorance is Tamaha. And Tamah Karya is Tama's effect is Pramada. There is no difference between Karya and Karana. We already said the Karana Karya Ananyatva. Karya is not, the effect is not different from the cause. Therefore, it is said ignorance is death. Okay, so Pramada. Pramada means Vastu Veka Asamarthyam. Pramada, carelessness, means the incapability to understand the things, to see the truth. Sattvakarya Prakashaka Virodhi, meaning it is contradictory to the nature of Sattva. Sattva understands the things. Tamoguna, whereas does not let you understand the things. Okay, so it is contradictory to Sattva-guna. Now, Alasyam. Alasyam means Pravruti Asamarthyam, Rajakarya Pravruti Virodhi. In the end of the previous shloka, Rajasaha Pravruti Hetutva. Rajoguna is of the nature of involving you in action. We said this. Here, Alasya, laziness, is something, means inactivity. Inactivity means it is opposite to the activity. Meaning it is contrary to the Rajoguna. Ubhaya Virodhini Tamoguna Alambana Vritti Nidra iti Viveka. Ubhaya Virodhini, contrary to both. To both means to the Sattoguna and to the Rajoguna. What is that? Tamoguna Alambana Vritti. Tamoguna Alambana Vritti, the thought function which objectifies the Tamoguna, is Nidra. He has used a very specific word. Tamoguna Alambana Vrittir Nidra. Nidra is defined as, this is the definition for Nidra. Tamoguna Alambana. If you have heard the previous chapters carefully, in 6th chapter, it was very clearly said using the Yoga Sutra. If you have heard Yoga Sutra, in Yoga Sutra it is very clearly said, what does Nidra mean? Abhava Alambana Vrittir Nidra. What does Nidra mean? Abhava Alambana Vritti. A thought function which objectifies the absence. Tamoguna is absence. So, that which objectifies absence is a Nidra. Iti Viveka. And that is contrary to both the Sattoguna and Rajoguna. Okay. Now, उक्तानां मध्ये कस्मिन् कार्ये कस्य गुणस्य उत्कर्ष इति तत्राह. Okay, I have understood what the nature of three gunas are. Which guna and how does it bind in where to which it binds me? That also I understood. Now, uktana madhye, among whatever is first said, kasmin karye kasya gunasya utkarsha. In which activity, which guna is predominant? That should be said. So for that he says, tatraha sattam sukhe sanjayati radah karmani bharata jnanam avritya tuttamaha pramade sanjayatyuta. सत्वं सुखे संजयति रजः कर्मणि हे भारत ज्ञानम आवृत्य तु तमः प्रमादे संजयति उत. सत्वं सुखे संजयति. Sattva immerses, attaches. Sanjayati means it associates, it attaches, it immerses us in the sukha, happiness. Rajah karmani sanjayati. We have to understand. Sanjayati word is a Dehli Deepa Nyaya. It is associated with this and that also. Dehli Deepa Nyaya we call it. Deepa means lamp. Dehli means a parapet wall, which is common for both the rooms. So a lamp which is kept on that parapet wall illumines objects on both the sides. A common wall. Let us keep it as common wall. A lamp which is placed on a common wall illumines both sides of the wall. So the rooms of the wall. So here also this Sanjayati is associated with Sattam Sukhe and Raja Karmani. Sanjayati. So Raja Sanjayati, Karmani Sanjayati. Raja involves us in the karmas. Jnanam avritya tu tamaha pramade sanjayati. Pramada, what does it do? Jnanam avritya, by veiling the knowledge, by covering the knowledge, by hiding the knowledge, tama involves us in, associates us with pramada. Pramada means carelessness. Sattam utkrishtam sat, it's not, you should not read like this. Sattam utkrishtam satsuke, no. Sattam utkrishtam sat, sukhe sanjayati. When the sattva is overpowering, powerful, at that point of time, sukhe sanjayati, it involves us, it associates us with the happiness. Dukkha karanam vibhuya sukhe sansleshyati. By overpowering the cause for sorrow, it associates us with the sukha. Sarvatra dehinam iti anushanchate. We have to understand whom does it associate? The dehi, the self, the one who is identified with the body, sense, organ complex, that jiva. Evam raja utkrishtam sat sukha karanam vibhuya karmani sanjayati iti anushanchate. If the rajoguna is predominant, then what happens? It suppresses the cause for sukha and gives us sorrow. How? By involving us in karma. Karmas means it's not a pleasure. So it's a pain. Sanjayati iti anushajyate. So here also we have to say sanjayati. Tamastu pramada balena utpadyamanamapi sattva karyam jnanam आवृत्य आच्छाद्य प्रमादे प्राप्त ज्ञायमानताकस्य अपि अज्ञाने संजयति उतापि प्राप्त कर्तव्यताकस्यापि अकरणे आलस्ये तमस्यां च निद्रायां संजयति इत्यर्थः. Tamas, what does tamas do? Tamas is a contrary to both sattva-guna and rajoguna. So we have to show both. Pramada balena, with the power of carelessness, with the strength of carelessness. Utpadyamanamapi sattva karyam. Though the sattva karya emerges, it manifests. Jnanam. What does sattva karya? Sattva karya is jnanam, the knowledge. Though the knowledge takes place, avritya, by covering it, by veiling it, achadya, by covering it, pramadi, it involves us in carelessness. What does carelessness here mean? Prapta jnayamanatakasyapi ajnane sanjayati. Though there is a possibility of gaining the knowledge, it involves us with the ignorance. That is its nature. Utapi, and not just that. It is not. This is sattva karya. What does it do with rajoguna karya? So for that said, prapta kartavyata kasyapi akarane alasya. So they, though you have the capability, eligibility to gain the knowledge, it makes you ignorant. Though you have the capability, eligibility, desire to do some activity, it makes you non-active, inactive. Tamasyam cha nidrayam sanjeti. It involves you in this laziness and the sleep. That is the idea. Uktam karyam kada kurvanti gunaha ityuchyate. When does these guna do its activity? Activity of knowledge, activity of action, or activity of laziness, inaction. So that he says, rajas tamascha vibhuya sattam bhavati bharata, rajas sattam tamaschaivam tamas sattam rajas tatha, rajaha tamaha cha abhibhuya sattam bhavati he bharata. Sattva rajaha sattam tamascha evam, tamaha sattam rajas tatha. Rajaha tamaha cha abhibhuya, by overpowering. Abhibhuya means overpowering. By overpowering the rajoguna and tamoguna, sattam bhavati. The sattva gains predominance. Hey Bharata. O Sion of Bharata, understand this. Rajaha, whereas the rajoguna predominates by sattvam tamascha evam. Similarly what? By overpowering. By overpowering the sattva and tamoguna, the rajoguna becomes predominant. Similarly, the tamoguna becomes predominant. Tatha means similarly. Similarly, tamoguna becomes predominant by overpowering the sattoguna and rajoguna. Only one guna will be predominant in any situation. Sattoguna, rajoguna, or tamoguna. Okay. And this is why, see, we saw the activity of rajoguna, sattoguna, and tamoguna. What is predominant, and when it is predominant, what happens? We saw this. That is why, see, if you have a headache, you pop a pill. If I have a headache, I am given the same pill. If somebody has a headache, he is given the same pill, or she is given the same pill. Why I am saying this is, it doesn't really matter who you are. If you have headache, eat this pill. That is all what allopathy does. Whereas the traditional Ayurveda does not do that. It treats you through a medicine which fits your characteristics, your guna. If your guna, the predominant guna for you is a sattva, then you have to be treated through the sattvic medicines. What? Yes, there is sattvic medicine, there is rajasic medicine, there is tamasic medicine also. Like some asavas. Asava means it is a wine. Wine prepared after fermenting. You ferment it after preparing with medicines. You ferment the medicine. If you ferment the grapes, it becomes wine. If you ferment the medicine, it becomes a asava, some wine kind of. So not every kind of person can be prescribed the wine. The same medicine can be given as kwatha decoction, or rasa, the direct essence of that plant or herb. So to each person you have to administer according to their predominant guna. So that is why he says rajaha. So what is overpowered is, that is why you have to establish this. Rajas tamascha yugapat ubhau api gunau abhibhuya sattam bhavati udbhavati vardhate. The sattva-guna udbhavati, manifests, vardhate, grows. The sattva-guna grows by gunau abhibhuya, by overpowering these two gunas, which is a rajo and tamoguna. Wait, rajo guna and tamoguna. Okay, understand. First, the sattva-guna will bash the rajoguna and then come to the tamoguna. Okay, wait, I'll come. I'm coming. Wait, not now. First, let me finish this fellow and I'll come. No, not like that. Yugapat, at the same time, it bashes both. It overpowers both. Yada tada, when this happens, when the sattva-guna overpowers both these qualities at the same time, swakaryam pravuktam asadharanyena karoti iti shesha. So without any speciality, this sattva guna performs its duty, whatever was explained, whatever its nature, it will perform that activity, the knowledge, etc. एवं रजोपि सत्वं तमश्च इति गुणद्वयम् अभिभूय उद्भवति यदा तदा स्वकार्यं प्रावृत्तं करोति. Similarly, when the rajo guna also, when it overpowers the sattva guna and tamo guna and grows more, then whatever is the aforesaid activity, it will do that. Its inherent nature, whatever it is. Tatha, similarly, tadvadeva, in the same way, tamopi sattvam rajaschaiti ubhopi gunao abhibhuya udbhavati yada tada swakaryam pravrittam karoti. When the tamoguna also overpowers the sattvaguna and tamoguna and grows, becomes predominant, at that point of time, whatever was said earlier, that activity of the tamoguna will take place. Idanim udbhutanam desham linganyaha tribhi. There is a saying in Tamil. Agattin nalaga mugattil theriyum. Meaning, whatever is inside can be seen in the outside. Mukha generally is for the face. So they take it literally, whatever is inside will be visible on the face. No. That is not right. Because some people cannot express through their face. A. Some people can hide their expression. B. Or do you want to say, if they are beautiful inside, they will be visible outside? Do you mean that? That is also not right. Then what you mean is the beauty, the external beauty is because of the internal beauty. No. People may be beautiful externally, but internally they will be dirty. People may be looking ugly externally, but they will be very beautiful inside. And the whole idea of beauty and ugly is, as they say, it's in the eyes of the seer. Like I take this stone. This stone is beautiful for me, but for you, it's a stone. There's no beauty in it. So, for a person who sees whatever, the beauty lies in the beholder, right? The perceiver. So, the mukha here is should be interpreted as mukhe bhava mukhya, that which is in forefront, that which you see in forefront. Why is mukha synonymous with the face? The word mukha synonymous with the face, because when you close your eyes and I say, think about someone. Think about someone whom you love. What do you see? Finger, hand, leg. Do you see any of this? No, you see the face. When I say think about someone, you immediately imagine the person's face. That is the first thing which comes. Therefore, it is called as mukha. Similarly, even before you see someone, even before you see, I feel some, oh, this fellow has come. So you feel uncomfortable or you feel very fresh, something like that. Immediately you say someone whom you like or you don't like has presented himself in front of you. That also. And some people will be looking ugly, dirty and all that, but their activity will be very pious. So just because somebody is dirty does not make them realized. Like I said earlier too, there are some idiots. Idiots, I say, because they are people who don't have used the brains. They think this fellow who has not taken bath for few days, for so many days, who's dirty looking man, is a realist soul. A person who is smoking the cigarettes and BDs which are thrown by people, he does not see any difference. He is a realist soul. That fellow is a lazy fellow. This is another problem. Why you have to say what is the pointer? What is the pointer to see which is the predominant guna in this person? Because the sattva guna will have the same effect similar to the Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Sattva-guna, there is no activity. Sattva-guna's nature is being inactive with knowledge. That is why we saw Satsangatve Nissangatvam, Nissangatve Nirmohatvam, Nirmohatve Nischalatattvam, Nischalatattve Jivanmukti. Nischalatattva becomes. Nischala means he becomes inactive. Chanchala means active, turbulent, restless. So, Nischala means he becomes peaceful, non-active. So, there then he becomes Jivanmukta. Now, being devoid of karma is the nature of Sattva-guna. And what does Tamoguna do? Tamoguna also is inactive, laziness, sleep. That's the nature of Tamoguna. So, you see Sattva-guna and you see a person with Tamoguna, you think they are both of Sattvic nature or they are both of Tamasic nature because you don't understand. So, we have to understand what is the pointer which with you measure, you understand this person or this my nature. Why do you want to see the other person? Why do you want to judge the other person? My nature, is it Sattva-guna, Rajoguna or Tamoguna? That for that he says, Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate jnanam yada tada vidyat vivruddham sattva-mityuta. सर्वद्वारेषु देहे अस्मिन् प्रकाशः ज्ञानम् उपजायते यदा तदा विद्यात् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमिति. Sarvadvareshu, in all the gates. Dwara means gates. In all the means, in all through all the sense organs. Dehe asmin, in this body, through the all sense organs. Prakasha upajayate jnanam. The illumination, the effulgence takes place, the knowledge takes place through the sense organs, meaning not just the sense organs are powerful enough. Then the blind does not have Sattva-guna. The deaf person does not have Sattva-guna, etc. That will be the problem. No. Whatever activity a organ is capable of, through that activity, if you gain the knowledge, then that is whatever. See, I am not able to see the stone properly. Okay, some stone. I don't know what stone it is. Doesn't really matter. I know I have some knowledge. As my eyes permit me. So therefore, he says, whatever that is the no, then that person has the abundance of Vivruddham means abundance of Sattva-guna. अस्मिन् आत्मनो भोगायतन आत्मनः भोगायतने देहे सर्वेषु अपि द्वारेषु. In this self means this body, which is the vessel for the experiences, the enjoyments. In this body, sarvadvareshu, sarveshu api dvareshu upalabdhi sadhaneshu srotradi karaneshu, through all the sense organs, which are the means to experience the object of sense organs. यदा प्रकाशो बुद्धि परिणाम विशेषो विषयाकारः स्वविषय आवरण विरोधी दीपवत्. There is this effulgence of knowledge. Effulgence of knowledge means the knowledge which is the transmission of intellect in the form of object which you perceive. When that takes place, swavishaya avarana virodhi, because knowledge is contradictory to the wheeling which is taking place in the object. There is an object, pot, your thought function goes, removes the wheeling, the knowledge takes place. So knowledge, when the knowledge takes place, it removes the covering sheath, the wheeling. Okay, like the light. When the light hits the object, it removes the darkness which is surrounding the object. Similarly, this knowledge takes place. तद-एव ज्ञानम शब्दादि विषये उपजायते. That knowledge, that is the knowledge which takes place through the sound, etc. objects. Shabdadi vishaya upajayate. Shabdadi vishaya plus upajayate should become Shabdadi vishayopajayate. But it didn't do. We didn't do that. Why? Because This is the place where we apply the sutra which we read yesterday. लोप शाकल्यस्य शब्दादि विषये उपजायते शब्दादि विषयै उपजायते. The akara is dropped. शब्दादि विषय उपजायते. You understand? So tada anena शब्दादि विषय ज्ञानाख्य प्रकाशेन लिंगेन. Through this kind of linga pointer, the knowledge which of the knowledge of sound etc. prakashatmakam sattvam vivruddham udbhutam iti vidya janiyat. Know that the sattva guna has become abundant. It is growing. Like we hear some text for the first time. We understand something which we didn't understand earlier. Now, after hearing it or after reading it again, you have more clarity than you had earlier. First time when you had, you thought your ignorance was removed because there is this ignorance about these topics that is negated. And again, when you reread it, there is a growing clarity. Okay, so that which is what we are talking about here, meaning the sattva guna is growing. Therefore, there is this wheeling which is getting removed one by one. Utapi sukhadi lingenapi janiyat. Or you can understand through the sukhadi linga, through the pointer like the happiness, etc. When you see a person very happy, you understand that there is a sattva guna which is predominant there in that person. Lobha pravrittir arambha. Lobha pravrittir arambha. Karmanam ashamah spruha. Srajastyetani jayante vivruddhe bharatarshabha. लोभः प्रवृत्तिः आरम्भः कर्मणाम् अशमः स्पृहा रजसी एतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे. हे भरतर्षभ, भरतर्षभ, one who is the greatest among the scion in the clan of Bharata, in the clan of Bharata. Lobha, lobha means greed. Pravrittihi, activity. Arambha karmanam, beginning karmas, beginning to do karmas, performing the karmas. Ashamaha, shama means control of mind. Asha means there is no control of mind, means peacelessness. Spruha, spruha means thirst, desire. Rajasyetani jayante vivruddhe. When the rajoguna is more, then these activities, these are the pointers to that rajoguna. Mahati dhana, what does lobha, pravritti, etc. mean? That is explained one by one. Mahati dhanagame jayamani api anukshanam vardhamanaha tat abhilasho lobha. Lobha means greed. What does greed mean? Though you have gained a lot of money, still you want that to grow even more. That kind of great desire is lobha. So vishaya prapti anivartya ichha vishesha iti avata, meaning whatever is the object of desire. It's just not the greed is not about money. Whatever may be the object of desire. Even after gaining that object of desire, when there is no limit to that experience, you want it more and more and more and more. That is called as greed. Pravrittir nirantaram prayatamanata means pravritti means nirantaram prayatamanata. Pravritti means you are continuously putting forth effort. Arambha karmanam bhavitta vyaya ayasa karanam kamya nishiddha laukika mahagrahadi vishayanam vyaparanam udyamah. Arambha karmanam, beginning the new karmas. What kind of karmas? Bahuvitta vyaya ayasa karanam. Bahuvitta vyaya ayasa karanam. These karmas are cause for two things. Bahuvitta vyaya. One is spending a lot of money. Second is ayasa, pain. Because you spend a lot of money and it gives you pain. Then you are performing a karma which is rajasic. You spend a lot of money and it brings you happiness. You are happy to spend, in fact, then that is the sign of a sattvic karma. Understand? So आरंभः कर्मणां बहुवित्त व्यय आयास कारणम्. So you spend a lot of money for performing karma and you are very tired because of doing that. So that is in what kind of karmas? Kamya, Nishiddha, Laukika, Mahagrahadi Vishayanam. In the karmas which is attached to desire, the karmas which is a Nishiddha, which is prohibited by the Shastras, the karmas which is the worldly karmas, or Mahagrahadi, or the household activities. In those activities, Vyaparam Udyamah. You are beginning. You want to do this, you want to change that, you want to do that. Change everything, change this, change that, all these kind of activities. Ashamaha. What is Ashamaha? Idam krutva idam karishyami iti sankalpa pravaha anuparamaha. Ashamaha means no peace of mind. Means after performing this, I will do that. When you are doing that, after doing this, I will do that. So there is no end to this kind of activity. So iti sankalpa pravaha, this kind of thought function where you will one after other, which is commonly seen in the family people. First, they want their son to get, they want a son, first son or daughter, whatever it is. Or after getting daughter, they want a son. Or after getting a son, they want a daughter. Something like that. Okay, they don't want any kid, they want only one kid. Okay, fine. A son or daughter is fine. After they get that, first that is in question. After they gain that, then he should study well. He should shine in the sports or whatever. After he studies well, he should get a good job. After he gets a good job, he should get married, get a good wife. After he gets that, he should get a child soon. After he gets that, this child should, now it's a grandchild. This child should study well. This cycle is non-stoppable. It goes on. Now the grandson, he gets married. He should have to get a good child who should study, who should get married. There is no end to this. So that is what we are talking about. Idam krutva idam karomi. After doing this, I will do that. After that, I will do that. There is no end to this willing, desiring. Spruha. Uchchavacheshu paradaneshu drishtamatreshu yena kenapi upayena utpaditsa. Spruha. Spruha means it is kind of greed, but it is kind of attachment to others' things. So you see some good or bad thing which somebody has. There is a gradation. Uchchavacheshu. Some gradation. You see that. Paradaneshu. Wealth, etc. Somebody's wealth, etc. Dushtamatreshu. The moment you see that, yena kenapi upayena, whatever be the means, I will get that. I will own that. That desire is spruha. Rajasi ragatmake vivruddhe etani ragatmakani lingani jayante he Bharatarshava. When the rajoguna is predominant, these kind of activities are seen in that person with rajoguna. So from the Siyan of Bharata, understand this. Etahi lingahi vivruddham rajogunam janiyaditya. Meaning when these kind of pointers, understand this, that the rajoguna is predominant. It is more, it is abundant. You see this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.